Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you, sir. I'm Jim Stewart. I'm an employee with Mental Innovations, Representative Witt, Vice Chair Huffman, gentlemen. I started my career probably back when I was about in fourth grade, not 4 years old, in fourth grade or so. My dad sent a picture of me. When he was in Vietnam, he sent a picture to me of him standing next to a Cobra gunship. And I knew then and there that that was what I was going to do. I was going to work on helicopters. And after 21 years in the Army, repairing helicopters for our country, I finally decided to get smart and come to Oregon. It took me 39 years to get here, but I'm finally here. I brought my family here and settled in, and wound up going to work for Mental Innovations. And it's kind of a long way getting there. I met Craig when I was going to A&P school. I wasn't able to be employed as a aircraft mechanic without having the necessary certification. In order to get the certification, I had to go to school. And that wasn't a college degree. That was something that was a vocational training, a 2-year school that I did there at PCC. I met Craig in his shop, which was his garage next to his home, way back in 90, I think it was 99. And I've been with him ever since. I've seen him go from his garage to a shop in Canby, and it was kind of funny there because whenever anybody asked me what I did, I said, well, I work on helicopters, I fix airplanes. And they said, so where do you work? And I said, well, I work in Canby. And they said, well, I didn't know Canby had an airport. And, well, they don't. And that's because we're a repair station. We take aircraft components and we overhaul them, we repair them, we return them to serviceability and take them back to the customer. But Craig wanted to expand his employee base and his capabilities, and that required moving to the airport. So we wound up moving out to Aurora Airport there on the south end next to the Jet Center. And we've since expanded. We've gotten a second hangar. We've expanded our employee base from, I think, 6 people to about 15 now. And we're just really going places. I can really, I'm listening to the numbers being put out in the statistics and the percentages, and I'm really excited because I'm seeing a focus on what I always thought was kind of the lost element. And I can really put faces to those numbers because I'm a family guy, and I've got four children who are either in high school or have graduated from high school. 2 of those children, my daughter is currently attending Portland State in forensics, so she's got her college career going. My son is going to be a marine biologist, and he's just starting his college education there at Clackamas Community. Now, my other 2 sons, one guy is just out of high school. He knows he wants to be a motorcycle mechanic, but he's not really sure where to go to get the training for that. And my other son, he's assembling sandwiches at Subway, and he's not really sure what he wants to do other than party. But I can see that this is what we're talking about today is the incentive that these guys need and the direction that they need to figure out what they're going to do with themselves. And it's really exciting for me to be here and be part of this and just be able to share some life stories there.
Well, Jim, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much. Very, very much. Justin?
Yes, hello. I don't know if I can top that, and I wanted to say that I felt a little underdressed when I came into this party. I've never spoke before, but Kim Wilmus asked Jim and I to just share our stories with you and I guess put a real aspect to what you guys are talking about.
Well, thank you for being here.
And I don't have any numbers for you except for one, and that's me. My story is a little bit like Jim's kids. I'm 32 years old, but graduating, I had the military as an option, and I really didn't want to take that option. but I ended up getting some tough love from my dad. I spent a lot of time chatting on the internet back when you had to pay for it by the hour, and ran up a $700 phone bill, which led to me leaving there. And I ended up having to stay with my girlfriend's parents, who's now my wife. But where that ties in is it gave me a drive to seek education. And I didn't have any money or funding for education. I actually had her dad told me about grants and that I could do the paperwork and fill it out. But I found out that I wanted to do some maintenance skills, and I didn't really want to follow into the automotive sector, so I went to aviation and seeked out that, and they have a great course out at PCC Rock Creek campus. And for me, living in Salem, to drive to Rock Creek every day was quite a task, but I'm glad I finished it. It's an 18-month course. A&P stands for Airframe and Power Plant. It gives you the license to work on anything that the airframe or anything the engine involved on that airplane. It's one of the few schools that I know of where you actually have to punch a time card. Every day when you go to school, you punch a time clock and you sign out for break. And I find that interesting because we talk about drug programs and stuff. The Federal Aviation Administration has a very strong drug policy. And one of the requirements is that they want to make sure that you have attended the school. And the way they do that is by a time clock. Anyways, I got out of A&P school and I started making $9 an hour at the Salem airport, and I thought, man, I went to school for this, you know. A&P license just gives you a license to learn. But one of the things now at 32 years old, I graduated in '97, so I've been in aviation for quite a while for my age, I consider. But one of the things I'm thankful for, and one of the things that I try to convey to the youth when I see them getting into our work process, is I try to say I've always had something to fall back on. I injured my knee back in '94, and I felt like I couldn't crawl around aircraft anymore, and I got out and I actually got a job working on school buses, just doing maintenance, routine maintenance. And the only reason I got that job is because I told my boss that I had a license in aviation. Another thing I remember is back in school, I remember A&Ps being taken left and right by elevator companies from New York because they really liked our technical ability to understand things on just a very technical level. So I was kind of going to joke with Jim over here that some of the answers to manufacturing it would be aviation and power plant mechanics, because when they started introducing planes, I mean, they were taking the best of plumbing fitters, the best of welders, which Jim's doing, the best of electricians, engine mechanics, even seamstress back when fabric airplanes were built, and now sheet metal, and then now in the future it's all composites. So I'll sum it up just by saying that we've been I appreciate Kim's time at Metal Innovations because she sent us, I've been involved in 3 classes. I've been involved in a flame spray class, I've been involved in a composites training class, and I actually recently got sent up to Seattle at a AVL conference which discussed engine manufacturing and turbine maintenance. So if it wasn't for her putting the time and investment in her employees, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at today, which is in the quality department. And full time I spend researching specifications and aircraft requirements and making sure we're in compliance with the regulation. And the only thing I can add to Jim is that we have a full manufacturing facility now, and we do 2 projects. We have an STC project, which is a supplemental type certificate or a modification to an aircraft, and it's a lot bigger deal than just modifying or putting new car parts on your car. You actually have to get FAA approval to do these. So we're working diligently on those and growing.